Good morning. For today's devotional for the day, we're going to be reading in Luke chapter 11. If you've been going through the Bible and your reading plan we put together, today the reading should have been from Luke chapter 11, and I'm going to read the first 13 verses and then talk a little bit about it. It says in Luke 11, starting in verse 1, "It happened that while Jesus was praying in a certain place, after he had finished, one of his disciples said to him, 'Lord, teach us to pray, just as John also taught his disciples.' And he said to them, 'When you pray, say, Father, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Give us each day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, for we ourselves also forgive everyone who is indebted to us. And lead us not into temptation.' Then he said to them, 'Suppose one of you has a friend, and goes to him at midnight, and says to him, Friend, lend me 3 loaves. For a friend of mine has come to me from a journey, and I have nothing to set before him. And from inside he answers and says, Do not bother me. The door has already been shut, and my children and I are in bed. I cannot get up and give you anything. I tell you, even though he will not get up and give him anything because he is his friend, yet because of his persistence, he will get up and give him as much as he needs. So I say to you, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks, it will be opened." And so just looking at this verse, I love a couple things about it. First off, it says Jesus was praying in a certain place, and his disciples were so impressed by his prayer life. They say, "Man, teach us how to pray. We don't pray like you, or we don't know how to pray like you do." And it's very interesting. Jesus gives what we have now coined as the Lord's Prayer. And I don't think this was a formula that he meant for them to say every time they prayed, but I do think he meant for them to imitate sort of the topics that are covered in the prayer. It starts off by saying, Father, hallowed or holy be your name. Just calling God our Father and also honoring him. Saying your kingdom come. Jesus is king. We want Jesus' kingdom, and his rule and reign to be present in our lives. Give us each day our daily bread. We want to go to God for our daily needs. He says, and forgive us our sins, for we also forgive everyone indebted to us. This idea of, Father, please forgive me. I've made mistakes. I've sinned against you and others. And also a commitment that I'm going to forgive those who've sinned against me. And then lead us not into temptation, which is basically just showing us that prayer is how we overcome temptation in this world. And then I love the parable Jesus gives saying, if you had a friend and he knocks on his door late, hey, I ran out of bread and I want to be able to give him some bread. In the Middle East, hospitality is a big deal. And so the situation is such that a man ran out and he had a guest coming and he wanted to be able to take care of his guest. So he asks his neighbor to loan him some loaves, and it's late at night. And I love what Jesus says. He won't get up and give it to him just because they're friends, but because the guy basically keeps beating on the door, please, please, he doesn't want to wake up the whole household. And Jesus says, because of his persistence, his friend will give it up, will get up and give him the bread he needs. And I think there definitely is a balance between learning to ask God for things and be persistent in prayer about them, and also having faith and not just asking God over and over again because you don't believe he can do it or he has it. Right? I think we do need to find that balance. And I love how Jesus closes this section by saying, that's why if you've got needs, ask. If you want to seek, knock. Everyone who asks receives. He who seeks finds. And to him who knocks, the door will be opened. And so just knowing that Jesus was committed to prayer because he believed in the power of the Father to take care of his needs and answer his prayers. And he says we should do the same. We should imitate him in that. So that's the Inspirational Vitamin for you today. Whatever you've got on your heart, whatever needs, even wants that you have in your life, go to God with them in prayer. This is a great, great way to start off this week and really this year. We love you. Have a great week.